Hi, everybody. I thought I'd just do a pop up live today. Happy Independence Day, everyone. I hope that you guys are all having a great and wonderful day. Let me make my bedroom quick. Gotta straighten that bed. I hope everybody's having a good 4th of July. I just thought I'd come up here a minute and see how everybody was doing on this 4th. Are people gathering together? Are you getting together with family? What's happening? Hi, Ginger Ninja. Hi, Little Ridge Farms. Good to see you guys in here. Are you still cleaning, Ginger? It's a lot of cleaning happening before people come over. I'm sure in a lot of households, not just yours. Um, I'm going to somebody else's house, so I just made some Texas Roadhouse rolls to bring over to somebody else's house, and my mother-in-law made a beautiful banana um, cake um, for the time over there. Hey, Gil. I'm going to go ahead and invite people up if they want to come up. Um, I don't know if you guys want to or if you're too busy. It is the 4th, but it'd be fun to have some people up. I was going to make it up into yours, Gil, but I just had to finish my rolls first. Don't want to burn the rolls, not after you work so hard on something like that. And ruin my reputation if I burn them. So, um, packing to fly out to Amazon on Wednesday. Oh, Arizona on Wednesday. What are you going to do there? That's exciting, Little Ridge. Um, Hello, Gil. How are
Hey,
you?
I just finished lunch. I had a steak
Oh, nice. Nice.
and a big glass of milk.
And a big glass of milk. That's the way to do it. I'm not having lunch. I'm saving it for dinner. Gonna have a nice big. I'm probably just gonna have a hamburger. They're making pork butt and all that stuff, but I can't handle all that seasoning, so I'll have a hamburger with probably some onion jam on it. I don't know if you've ever had onion jam. It's really, really good. Yep. I can it and just boil it down and do all that stuff. What are you doing for the 4th?
Oh, I was did a bunch of work out that side for several hours before I did my little live there.
Yeah.
And just as I got off there, I realized, oh crap, Steve, Corsair Trainers was live. So I went over there, listening with them, commented and stuff. And
Hmm.
they're talking, patriotic stuff right now, the 4th, obviously. And they're talking about the going to the range and everything, proper training, and everything else. And they're just having a grand old time over there. And they say, oh, okay, I need to go out and do some more work. And I just got off his, and yours popped up.
Sorry. I'm
Yeah.
trying to come up a lot because, I got to get those. I don't need the watch hours. I just need the subs. So, Slim Jims, Ginger said Slim Jims and oatmeal cookies for lunch. That's wonderful. I think if I had something, it would be something like just a snack, like an apple or something like that. Because,
Actually, that's not bad um, carbohydrate wise, what she's having, because oatmeal doesn't have that much carbs on it and stuff. And,
no, no, it's a good snack.
yeah.
And if you
I,
put a little,
I, I just found out that one of the things I used to eat at work all the time is that was actually healthy for me.
oh, what was that?
You can get these 2 packs. Basically, it's a packet. It's a Slim Jim and a cheese
Hmm.
stick.
Okay.
They come together. Low in carbs, has moderate in protein
High in
and
salt.
and and high in fat. Now, before everyone goes high in fat,
That's
I've
okay.
I've I
It's the salt
found
I worry about.
several doctors that are talking now about it and stuff.
Mhm.
And for type 2 diabetes, they're putting people on a low carb, not no carb, low carb, high
Mhm.
fat diet, and their diabetes in 4 6 months is going away.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, this started, a lot of my mom's on a high she eats that way, but sh her diabetes isn't going away, but
Yeah, yeah. Does she have type 2?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because what was that doctor's name here? Shoot. Um,
There's plenty of doctors that are saying that.
yeah, but she was on. They had her on TEDx and PragerU. Did a combination.
Mm,
Had her up there on it.
right.
And where did I see? Oh, hang on. I got to go here. Okay, there. New tab. And I can tell you what who she is. I got to go to my playlist, other channels. Where's the other channels here? Because I saved it because of that.
Mhm.
Uh, memories, other channels, food. No, just other channels. Other channels. Here we go. View full playlist. And it's going to be at the very bottom because that's the way it loads in. Yeah, it's called Reversing Type 2 Diabetes Starts with Ignoring the Guidelines. And that's Sarah Hallberg.
Oh, okay.
And it's on TEDx Talks.
TEDx Talks, not
Mm-hmm.
TED Talks.
Yeah, that's actually here. Let me see here. Open that up there to look at it and just pause it because I don't want to lose the stuff on it. And yeah, TEDx Talks is the channel it was on, but it was done on TEDx and Purdue U. So this is the so if anybody does this is the on YouTube and type this in, there it goes. It'll show it up, and she goes through and she explains a lot. And she doesn't have diabetes at all, but she put herself on the diet, and
Yeah.
she goes, "I lost weight and I feel better."
I've lost weight doing a high protein diet as well, and,
Yeah.
I but what happened to me when I did that is, I, lost my gallbladder because I got stones
Mm-hmm.
in my gallbladder, and then, I had to have emergency surgery because those stones got in between my liver and my gallbladder, and so I had to have it removed and had those stones stuck out, and I got really, really sick. So you do have to watch it on a high fat diet. I was
Yeah.
losing weight galore, but I was also a runner. I was running, you know, so you know any diet you do, you have to have some exercise with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I started about 2 months ago. I started slowly working away from the all the beans and all the rice and all the other stuff. And when I started having just like I stopped having my favorite cereal, which was bran flakes,
Mhm,
and I went to oatmeal, and I cut out some other stuff, and I started eating more cheese
mhm,
because cheese is protein and fat,
right.
and I actually lost 10 pounds in about a month.
Wow.
And then I fell back and I got a bunch of hot dog buns to have my hot because I just take a hot dog out and either eat a cold hot dog or just nuke it and eat it in
Right.
thing. And so I got some hot dog buns, and all of a sudden and as soon as I started having the 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 flour starch grain stuff, all of a sudden the cravings just came back, and it was just like I realized, okay, I gotta be serious about this.
Right. I because I'm on low sodium, I can't do the hot dogs and a lot of the, can't marinate my meat and all of that stuff. But
Yeah.
I
Actually, I got a marinade for you here in a second that you can do that is no sodium. I just want to say hi.
I'm finding a lot of stuff that is no sodium. Like I found Cajun spice or
Mhm.
seasoning the other day with no salt in it.
Yeah.
And um, Mrs. Dash is not the regular Mrs. Dash anymore. If you Kroger has a lot of the salt-free stuff that you won't see anywhere else, and they have so many flavors of Mrs. Dash. It's not funny.
Yeah.
So,
One of the ones that my cousin-in-law
hmm
used back, oh geez, 30 plus years ago
hmm
was he would use orange juice, like a cup or two of orange juice, a couple tablespoons of lemon juice added to it, and then all the herbs and stuff piled in there.
yeah,
And so no salt at all. And he let it marinate for 2 or 3 days.
yeah. You can do it.
That stuff was good steak tartare. I
Yeah,
mean, you can eat that raw because it was marinated and cooked, by the marinade.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's the only way you could really do steak tartare.
yeah. Nowadays, unless you raise your own beef.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. It's I love marinades. Chris does. He does a steak in the sous vide and talk about, and then he cooks it very perfect because you put on the temperature, it goes to that temperature, and it can sit at that temperature until you're ready to eat it, and it's really really good. Um,
Okay, Kitty. Actually, the salt we use the non iodized salt, but and not all salt is iodized, especially your sea salts and your other salts, your Himalayan salts and stuff like that
I think
aren't
Himalayan
iodized.
salt does not raise your what's that called? The it's the best salt to eat if you have a salt issue.
Yeah,
Um, I don't have I have a blood pressure issue, but it's because for some reason my body reacts to salt differently than everybody else.
yeah. But there are certain plants you can eat. I'm trying to remember one. I'm not sure if kale's one of them or not. Plants that provide iodine. Okay. Green beans, kale. I thought kale. Spring greens, watercress, strawberries, organic potatoes with the skin, certain whole grains, green beans. Yeah, so there's things you can look, just Google best sources of iodines, and you can come up with a bunch of them
Hmm
there.
Yeah, I eat most of that stuff all the time. I like fresh green beans from the garden. I have kale out there that I picked. I just picked all my green beans. They got attacked by bugs, so I pulled them. So I have fresh green beans in the fridge right now, um, and I like frying those up. Um, but I've been eating a little more sweets lately because I can get away with eating sweets.
Yeah.
But
All right. I just saw something here. Um, Plants can take up iodine from the soil through the root system, but they can also assimilate it from the air. So your green leafies, like your um, kale and watercress and lettuces and stuff can pull iodine from the air.
Right. Hi, makeup mom and son. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, I that's awesome, Kitty. That's really cool. I just have to lose a little bit more weight. I'm not really heavy. I exercise every day, but I'm just heavy enough to keep my blood pressure is actually really good as long as I eat low sodium. It's actually pretty close to normal um, for somebody my age. So
Yeah.
I do the raw apple cider with mother too because that helped. My I didn't have any issues with my kidneys from my blood pressure being up, so but it just helps it work it through a little better. So uh, lemon juice, if you have a high sodium problem, really helps in your water as well.
Yeah.
So
Problem is with lemon juice, um, it eats on the enamel.
right, so you use a straw is what the doctor told me to do. He told me to drink lemon juice with so so does coffee, and so does a lot of our sodas do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. When it comes to sodas and stuff, I mean, like I avoid Coca Cola and Pepsi like the plague
Hmm.
because in high school we did the experiment. Took the nail, stuck it in the Coca Cola, and over the weekend came back and the nail was almost totally gone.
Yeah, yeah. You can use Coca Cola to clean up rust off your vehicles or anything rust off a metal.
Yeah.
It works really well, and that kind of tells you everything you need to know about Coca
Well,
Cola and Pepsi
here's
products.
even more on it. Concrete workers use Coca Cola when they're using what's called doing exposed aggregate, where you see the rock and the cement and stuff. That's
Hmm.
why they put Coca Cola out on it.
Huh.
And basically, when they get all done doing all their work and stuff, they start spraying Coca Cola on it.
Oh, okay.
And does two things. One, the sugar blocks evaporation, but the Coca Cola starts eating away at the cement.
Happy Independence Day to you, Makeup Mom. Um, Yeah, I've never drank a lot of soda. I didn't grow up drinking soda, so I and when I was younger, for some reason, it really upset my stomach. If I would drink those little half sodas that they used to have,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be all I could handle. If I drank any more than that, I would throw up.
Yeah, it's like
But
when I was growing up, the only soda I drank when I was little was A&W root beer because we go to A&W drive-in, order the Papa Burger, Mama Burger, and the baby burgers, and we all get A&W root beer floats.
right,
And so basically, the sodas that I would drink most of my life was root beer, grape soda, orange soda, and really not much else
right.
until I got older and I found out about Flying Cauldron's butterscotch beer, aka cream soda.
Happy Independence Day, back to nature. Welcome in. So, is anybody making anything special for the 4th of July? My mother-in-law made banana cake. I'm looking forward to that. I can actually eat that, so I'm happy about that. And I made Texas Roadhouse rolls with the Texas Roadhouse butter. Um, it's just so delicious.
Yeah, Katie, the A&W root beer is not nearly as carbonated as Pepsi or Coke or any of the others. And so I don't like the carbonation either. And someone handed me a Barks
Hmm.
root beer one time. I took one sip. It's like, oh, man, my nose just, oh man, it is like 3 times the carbonation of most root beers. It was just
Carbonation is very bad for your bones too.
yeah,
So older people should not drink it at all because the bubbles break down your bones. It's good for the digestive system. So a lot of people like to drink the seltzer water, but it's really bad for your bones. So
yeah, because the carbonation gets into your bloodstream and
yeah.
works on it. The however, super carbonated water is good for your scalp for cleaning out the pores.
Well, nice.
They actually there's a couple companies now that are doing a carbonated shampoo, and it's carbonated to the extreme, and you watch these people shampooing with it, and all of a sudden if first time they've used their shampoo, then they used it, and all of a sudden it starts coming out brown as it
Oh,
cleans the
Ginger,
pores
can I
out.
come to your house? That sounds amazing. Homemade.
Ginger, are you doing that in a Dutch oven or in the regular oven?
That sounds really, really good. Hi, Klingon Princess. Welcome in. When I
Uh,
lived in Portland, we lived right next to the convention center, and I saw so many Klingon princesses going to the what is that called?
Comic Con.
The Comic Con. Yeah, they'd have it like 5 times a year at the convention center. It was
Yeah.
really cool, and some of them were so impressive. So I don't know if you are into that, but a lot of fun. My cousin would go every year. She was not a Klingon princess, but she loved Star Trek. So
Yeah. My cousin actually, they came out with a Klingon dictionary,
yeah, I
and
heard
he
about
was
that.
he was actually learning to speak
Klingon.
uh, Klingon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's see if I can. My light is off. Bad thing about it is that I have this light behind me, and it makes the light weird in this room. It's kind of annoying.
Oh ho ho! She lives above a comic book store. That is
Oh,
so dangerous.
yeah.
Oh, I still have comic books
Oh,
in
is it really,
boxes.
Kitty? That's interesting.
Uh, uh,
Now I want peach cobbler so bad, but I'm sure.
my wife was going to do something, but she just went ahead and canned them all. She had so many apricots. She was going to try to do an apricot cobbler, but she just went ahead and just canned and made apricot jam for all of them.
It
Fire
is
danger. Oh, you mean pocket? Yeah, I mean pocketbook. Yeah,
pocketbook
pocketbook.
danger. Yeah, if you're into that stuff, that would
Yeah.
be it would be like me having a guitar store beneath me. Well, or when we lived in Portland, we had a Starbucks beneath us, and we used to have Starbucks every day just because there was a Starbucks beneath us.
Oh, yeah. The back before I got married, I was collecting a lot of comic books. I have the entire first 4 years of She-Hulk, the entire
Hi there, my
Dazzler
five.
series.
Good to see you in here.
Yeah.
Happy Independence Day to you.
Oh,
Thank you. I guess it's not really your Independence Day. Do you guys celebrate in South Africa? Do you guys celebrate something like that in South Africa? Is there educate us on that because I have no clue and would love to know. So how is the weather there, Gil? Is it real hot?
Yeah, I mean, it's yesterday it got so bad that I spent I've basically like spent the afternoon indoors and had the grandkids, two of the grandsons come over and had them over here for several hours during the peak of the heat. But
Mm-hmm.
let's see what we got here today. It's oh, it actually dropped 2 degrees. It's only supposed to be 83 today. Tomorrow's going to be 86. Wednesday's going to be 90. Thursday 90. Friday 91. So the temperatures dropped. The projections were up in the mid 90s for Thursday and Friday, and those actually dropped a little bit. Lows are up in the high 50s. So
Yeah. Yeah, we are pretty warm here. We don't cool down that much at night. We're 90, but it feels like the feels like is like 100.
yeah,
So because of the humidity here, it's so humid.
yeah. I did the since I got that the small insect screen stuff and put it on a couple of windows.
Hmm.
Um, so I actually did the window here in my office here, and I opened that one, and then I have the one in the kitchen, the one in the living room done, and I have fan and those sucking air in, so it blows in and travels through the house and exits out here.
Hi, Angela.
Hey,
How
there
are
he
you
is.
doing? Good to see you.
And it got this morning. It got down to 63 in the kitchen. No, between the kitchen and the dining room, I have a thermometer hanging on the wall that got down to 63, and I kept checking it as I was getting ready to go outside this morning.
Yeah.
And as soon as it bumped from 63 to 64, I shut the windows.
Yeah.
And yesterday it was at 64 when I shut the windows. I only had been 64 for a while. I think it was about ready to be 65.
Right.
But it got to back here in the back room here. It got to 81 last night, and the that one in between the kitchen and the dining room there got up to 79,
I see.
and so ugh,
I'm just sharing this out a little bit.
yeah. So
Yeah, it's I'm getting used to the heat now. Hi, Good Times Homestead. Good to see you in here. How's your 4th? Yeah, Independence Day? Um, we Chris is working. He wasn't going to work today, but he decided to work and enjoy the extra money that we can
is,
put towards our house. Since
is he making just time and a half, or is he making double time?
I don't know exactly. He might save the day for a day off so we can go to homestead picnic,
Right.
homesteading picnic that it's in Kentucky. So we know that we're going to go there. So
Yeah,
um,
I know on the 4th of July, because a lot of people wanted it off for their barbecues and stuff. And so I would work it. And what's fun is when it was 4th was on a Sunday. So I was getting Sunday differential, which is 20%.
hey, Chris, how you doing? Good to
Hey,
see
Chris.
you.
And so I was getting Sunday differential, 20% on it. And plus, because I was, my shift started at 4 o'clock in the morning, I had 2 hours of nighttime differential,
Right.
another 10% on top of it. And then being the holiday, I had double time. And so I wound up with, so I had, instead of, say I was making $100 a day, I was making 100 plus 100. So it's 200 plus 40, $40 for the 20% Sunday differential, plus
Mhm.
another $20 for the, not 20, 20 plus $24 for the nighttime differential in the morning because they overlapped on some of the things, and they were because the way it was written, certain things tacked on everything. So if you had a holiday pay and you worked holiday, you got the holiday and it's on nighttime differential, you got an extra 10% on top of the double time.
I see.
So yeah, I mean, I on Christmas or 4th of July or
Hmm.
any of the holidays on a Sunday, I made in that and during that shift, I would make nearly an entire week's salary on the one day.
Happy Independence to you, Chris. The link is in the link or in the chat. If anybody wants to come up, um, you have to show your face, and I have to know that you've been around for a while. um, that is interesting. So they have Freedom Day in South Africa, and Elle was saying, and but they're taking away or doing different things with their holidays there.
Yeah.
So that's sad. I'm sure with the government problems, that's sad. Um, yeah, we haven't had. I mean, we've had a lot of change in holidays too, but nothing's been taken away so far that I know of. I don't
Well,
know.
they've mutated ours or some of ours around, and really ticks me off because I'm privy to some stuff. Hey, Southern Boy Prepper,
Hi, Southern
to some
Boy.
information.
Good to see you in here.
Yeah, so they took away Washington or Lincoln's, and took away Washington's and Lincoln's birthdays. Made one that was President's Day, and the other one was Martin Luther King Day.
Oh,
And problem with this, being privy to certain things is, there was something going on the night before he was assassinated, which was not something a reverend should be doing. With a
oh,
lady, he should not be doing it with.
oh.
And so,
Okay.
to me, it's like, no, he does not deserve that.
So okay, that's interesting. Great minds. What are you referring to? Good times.
Yeah, when you used to get, yeah,
You referring to the presidents? They are great minds. Yeah, both of those.
yeah,
They should have kept them as holidays. Um, I think so too. Um, so we have been waiting for a survey to come back on our property. We so that we're selling a piece of our property. I don't know if you know that, but
oh, how many
yeah, we
acres?
30. So it still leaves us with 130 acres to my brother-in-law, so to another family member. So
Okay,
yeah, so it's nice that so we're going to be able to support each other as we get older and
right,
stuff like that, and be next to each other and grow food together. Um, and a lot of that, and just being close to each other and help each other out with raising our mother-in-laws or my mother-in-law and stuff like that. So they're gonna kind of buy on the other side of the property that it's not in the big clearing, so they won't be in our big clearing, but they will be real close by. So we're excited. We've been waiting quite a while for that to come through, and that's part of what we're using to pay cash for our house. So because we want to go all cash on the house and just have the land payment.
yeah.
So it's one of the things we're doing. So um, we're waiting for that to come back, and that's been the delay with the house. That, and we're also having trouble getting somebody to grade our pad for us. That isn't an arm and a leg. So, um,
Uh, Grading the pad. you um, you'd have to have some help to do it with Mabel.
Yeah, we
You,
couldn't do it with Mabel. I mean,
I could.
because there's a slope on one end, and it's 4 feet. So,
Yeah,
um, for the tiny home, we could do that with Mabel. That was no
yeah,
problem, and we put it down. But with the for we want 100 by 100 pad so that we can put rock around the house too for parking and all of that stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah. The because you know, with a tractor the size of Mabel, I could do it if I was there. I could do it for you. But what you need is you need two other people out there, one on a transit and one with the pole.
yeah,
And as you go around, it's like, you know, a spray can. It's like, okay, that needs to go down so much. Mark the number on the ground. Just keep on moving around. As on the tractor, see that? Oh, I take it down deep there and drop and cut and move the dirt. Well, you also need a fourth person with a hose
yeah.
and a water tank. So as you drag the dirt out to the fill area, you want to be hitting it with the water so it compacts quicker and
Oh, okay.
solider.
Well, we also need water on the property to do that.
Okay. There was up here in
Ice storms
Idaho.
and radio and Aquarius. Sorry.
Yeah, there. He used to be called Imagine Acre Wood, Dave, and he, I guess last year he sold the property up there for enough money, and he moved down to Arkansas and got more flat land and stuff,
Hmm.
and he's still off grid. But what they did for water, they had a couple of those big um,
Totes.
500 gallon tanks partially buried or three-quarters of the way buried
Mm.
and had straw bales of straw around it. But they had the totes in the back of the truck and they go into town, and there was a place in town that had free water, you know, for people that were out about, and they pull in and just fill up the tote, and then they
Yeah.
changed it, then they started charging them 50 cents to fill up the tote.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he said they would go in, fill up the tote, bring it back, fill up their water tanks, and so they'd be making trips. Every time they go into town, they would make sure that either in a trailer or in the back of the truck had a tote, and they would fill it up with water.
Right. We have 50-gallon totes, which we moved the tiny home. We didn't hook up the water to. For like coming off the roof. We should have probably.
Yeah,
But we have those. We got two 50-gallon totes for like $50 each. So, which is a really good price for 50-gallon totes. So, um, but yeah, we're going to use those around the property to either close to the garden, so that we can use extra water for rainwater, which is better for your garden in anyways. Um,
oh, did you see what happened to Doug and Stacy?
no,
Um, okay, he just put out a video. Not sure was it yesterday or the day before on it. And basically, what happened is Stacy had a doctor's appointment.
yeah,
She was hurrying, watering and stuff, and they put a hose bib off their 3,000-gallon tank system out there so she could do some water. Well, basically, what happened is when she went to close the hydrant, she closed it till she hit resistance.
mm-hmm.
It wasn't all the way off.
Oh no,
Several hours later, he shows up and he notices the gate to the garden open. And they keep it closed to keep the chickens out. So he goes over there, and then the watering can that she put the hose into was blah, 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 and he what the heck? And he saw it was still up. He turned it off and noticed the whole area there was wet. And on there, they have two 1,500-gallon tanks,
uh-huh.
and about 2 feet from the bottom, thump, 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 that's where the water level was at.
Wow, my
And so
goodness.
they got to figure they're probably going to have to haul water in and fill the tanks back up for the summer.
Mm-hmm. My goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. For the summer, that's hard. So they'll
Yeah.
be.
They have several other, totes and stuff around, that have for the animals, which still had rainwater and stuff, and was still
Mm-hmm.
basically full. Most of them were full. One of them he had a problem with where the gutter thing pipe he took in and ran it underneath the tarp to keep it from the algae from growing,
Right.
and it had slipped, and so it was only like a third full rather than being full.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so yeah, he's
They're hurting.
they're hurt. Yes, Doug and Stacy are hurting. They're going to have to get someone to bring a load of water into them so they fill up. But yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But for me though, I was talking to day before yesterday, no Friday. Friday, I was talking. No, it was Saturday. I was talking to the city guy here, maintenance
Yeah.
guy, and he gave me names of a couple of people that are thinking about that are selling water, agricultural water rights to basically put in a well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to get with them. I may be able to pick up. I may be able to pick up for $1,000 each a water right for this property and the property across the street.
Oh, cool.
And if I can get that, because we're in the city, you can't do regular well for drinking, but you
Right.
can get well water rights for agricultural use.
Yeah.
Well, so if we can get wells put on both properties, so we have like right now, because we're in such a drought, the irrigation ditch is only flowing half full every other week.
I don't know
And
what's going on with Creekside Maple. Do you, Gil?
Creekside,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
Good time to put it up. No, I don't. Um, yeah, I know
No.
that you can buy water from the city here and bring it in. Like
Uh,
if you have, we could probably just take our 50-gallon totes and put water in them and bring them out there. But
yeah.
yeah.
But check around for any micro distilleries around.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, they get the high grain, the high alcohol brought in, whether it's potato alcohol or other high grain alcohol, pure alcohol they get brought in, and then they do their diluting and stuff and the brewing and to make vodka, whatever, which is like vodka. I think is what 70 proof.
Mm-hmm.
But they get the totes, the 275-gallon totes with 193 proof alcohol in it, and then they process it down to dilute it and whatever else they
Mm-hmm.
do. Well, they can't reuse those for send them back to get alcohol in them again
Oh, wow.
because that high of an alcohol is considered once it's emptied out, it's considered having had chemical in it. 190 proof alcohol
Yeah.
is a
It's
chemical.
nice and clean.
Yes, exactly. It's sanitized.
It's sanitized, yes.
And you might be able to pick some of those up like for $60 for a 275-gallon tote.
Yeah, that might
And,
be interesting. But
and
I don't know when we're gonna get water. Every time we call them, we hear the same amount of months, 3 months. We're 3 months out. And it's like, is that just the standard saying in Tennessee? We're 3 months out and they'll get to you when they get to you.
yeah,
It's been really, really dry, so maybe they've been able to tap a lot of wells lately, and they'll catch up. But man,
yeah,
oh man, it's just we had a wet early spring, and they couldn't tap hardly anything, and so now they're really busy.
yeah.
So yeah, it's been we've been waiting on that for a long time. We put in before we moved out here for a well, so yeah.
Storms and radios and cats ask, but is the water the city selling already chlorinated chemicals? Question mark.
Probably, yeah.
Unless you're like us, out here in Idaho, our city water is not treated at all. It comes out of a well and is pumped straight into the storage tank.
Hmm.
So, Everyone
Ours
around
is you can taste it when you drink it. It's treated here.
yeah, around here, the only thing people that do with the water around here, they will run it through a water softener,
Hmm.
and some people will run it in through a Zen water filter or a Berkey
Hmm.
or whatever, and they'll for their drinking water.
Right. I've heard two things about Berkeys, good and bad. I don't know what to think.
I can tell. I've done a lot of research on it. I've gotten in arguments with some of the guys and says, "Hey, here it is. Go read it for yourself." And they come back, "Sorry."
Oh, really?
Um, Several states have banned Berkey
Oh, really? Okay.
because their claims have been determined to be false.
Hmm.
Iowa's one of them. California's another. Now, if California, they go, oh no, California didn't ban us. They just made it so hard we can't sell stuff without disclosing our proprietary stuff, which is BS. Because the state says no, you've been banned.
Hmm.
I talked to someone in the state that said no, they've been banned because their claims are false,
Hmm.
and they refuse to correct it.
Wow.
Oh, there we go. Homestead Chorus. Creekside lost their place and are looking for a new one now. Oh, boy. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Didn't didn't was it Scott from Rambling with the Brooms had him up,
Hmm,
and they were um trying to auction off some things. Is that Creekside
I don't know. I didn't catch that one.
Aquarius?
Yeah. But oh, shoot, now that squirrel moment there, I forgot what I was saying.
We're talking about burpees.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So and what they were claiming is they're saying, oh, it removes nitrates and this from the water and stuff. Well, around here we have nitrates is one of the problems. The problem is those size filters that a Berkey has to remove the nitrates for those long as they say those filters have to be as big as the entire unit
Mm.
because there are special filters for nitrates. And I went looking for and to get any sort of nitrate filter, it's expensive and it's big and yeah, and so Berkey can't do that. And Berkey basically has
Hey, Beverly. Happy 4th.
a ceramic and or a carbon filter with some stuff in it,
Hmm.
which only removes certain things. And the ceramic filter that Berkey has is a 2 micron filter, if I remember my data correctly, maybe a 5 micron. But what I like about the Zen is the Zen filter, the Zen system I have. It's basically a Zen, but it's a generic version. But I buy the filters elsewhere. The filters I'm buying, the ceramic filters, are zero point 0.2 micron. That's tiny,
Hmm.
and it removes a whole lot more, like 20 times what the Berkey does just on the ceramic filter. And then it's got a five-stage filter after that, including the charcoal and some other minerals and stuff to take stuff out. And I've tasted Berkey and I've tasted mine, and mine tastes a whole lot better.
Oh, well, there
And
you
I,
go, folks.
yeah,
From the mouth of Gil.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Thank you, Aquarius. Anyways, that's interesting, Storm.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's you know, and one of the things that's interesting is I've done to the house across the street, and when I put the water softener over here, I'll be doing it over here as well.
Hmm.
I got a Culligan whole house sediment filter. It's a big filter, about this big, that big around,
Yeah.
and I have that's like my pre-filter. So
Yeah.
that removes big particles and stuff before it gets into the system, before it gets to where they, you run, pull it off the tap to do the fill up
That's
the.
right, Hando. That's right. Yeah, when we get our well, I'm sure we're gonna do some good filtering systems. We need to start looking into that now so that we're ready. Um, you use zero filters, so do we. Hey,
After this, I'm gonna unplug. I'm gonna have to unplug my camera here and plug it back in again. See this.
it froze. Hey, Willoway Ranch, how are you doing? Good to see you in here.
Okay, I'm back. The reverse osmosis is probably the most dangerous water filter system you can have in your house. Basically, because it removes, hey, Aiden there, it removes, and Willoway Ranch, it removes so many of the minerals and stuff from the water, it removes too much. And basically, you wind up with water which is now out of balance, and it's trying to rebalance itself. So when you drink that, what does it do? It pulls the minerals and stuff from your blood, your bones, and everything else.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, so it's not good. Reverse osmosis.
Yeah, you need the minerals in your soil too, and I think that's and your food tastes better with those minerals in them in your soil. Oh, yeah. It's a nice thing about having stony soil is that you can get some stone breakdown in there, so which is good. So hopefully things will. I still have to sample my soil and bring it to the co-op, which is a great way to get your soil samples done. But we just haven't gone forth. I'm planning to do like for my garden, like a lasagna garden or something where there's lots of heavy layers to help with the clay here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So,
Ron Netzel's book, the Green Wizard's Guide.
I've got that.
You got it. Good. All right. So you got the information.
Yep.
And then he has. You can check on some of his videos, which are to supplement the book. But
he says put salt down, and
not just salt. Epsom salt.
Yeah, Epsom salt.
Epsom salt. Yeah. And
minerals will help too, like a rocky mineral.
Yeah. Oh shoot! I got it saved on. I got it saved on my Amazon. They were starting to get it where was able to get more stuff on it. Mm-hmm. But come on. Green. What is it called? Green something or other. Hang on here. Gardening. Where is my gardening? Let's see if I find it here. Green sand. And basically it's all the minerals and stuff where the glacier had gone forward and pulled back, and there's pits of it up in Canada, and it's harder to find down here in the United States. And but they are finding it and stuff, and you buy the bags of that, you can sprinkle a little bit out there, and a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. If you have clay soil and stuff, you sprinkle some of that out there, and it puts all the minerals and stuff in there for the plants and the mitochondria to get in there and start breaking up the clay.
Right.
The other thing, like if you have a lot of dandelions, rather than spraying them, get the gypsum, which is basically calcium. And
gypsum here is they totally recommend that. So.
And that's what I did out here in the yard. But the seeds were already here, and in the spring I had dandelions everywhere. I go, crap, the gypsum didn't work. And the seeds, the dandelions did the things and almost totally gone.
Right.
Whereas last year, I'd have dandelions that popped and they just keep going constantly.
Right.
And I put out probably of the 25-pound bags. I probably put for the lawn around here because it's like a half-acre lawn or so. Probably went through like I do 4.5. I did 3.5 bags. I did 3.5 bags. So I still have half a bag in the living room there, and it just took that the rain and stuff that much time for it to start breaking down the gypsum to basically just tell the dandelions, all right, we got calcium. We don't need you anymore.
Storm radio and cats. I have rocky soil and clay soil. It's mostly rocky on top, so we can get past those rocks. But I'm totally blessed with rocky and clay.
Yeah.
So, but the land was cheap, so there you go. You can improve soil and rocky or clay. So there you go.
Yeah, here we have some good soil on the surface. Get down about 4 feet, and you start hitting like riverbed.
Right.
You got the rock, the sand, and it's a layer like this. It's just across here, and then in some of the areas I was going down and I was digging and putting the irrigation ditch in pipe underground so the grandkids couldn't crawl in it. I hit one area, and all of a sudden it was this like white chalky stuff, and then, not white, but kind of a grayish, whitish, chalky stuff. And I'm digging it with the excavator. Oh, this is weird. It looks kind of interesting. It went down and I started messing with it. It was volcanic ash.
Oh, really?
And
wow.
Where I stirred that up and mixed it with the soil, the weeds went absolutely nuts. It was like, ooh, good soil.
Yeah. Yeah, volcanic ash is nice. You can actually buy that to improve your soil. Calcium, yes, exactly. Hey, Tennessee Bushcrafter, good to see you in here. The link is in the chat if you want to come up. How would you, Tennessee? I would love if you came up here because I want to know how you improved your soil because probably going to deal with a lot of the same things here in our area.
My camera, why is my camera acting up so bad? It froze again.
Oh, no.
All right, so here I go. I'm going to unplug and plug back in. So in about 5 seconds, should bring me up here.
He needs a new camera, folks, I think.
No, it was the latest software update that Microsoft forced through. And,
so now it's acting up, huh?
And so my Logitech camera, they've screwed with all the drivers when they did stuff, so it's not working right all the time. But then my other microphone here, I can't use it all right now because it keeps shutting off until I have to wait for them to do another update, and I've complained to them about it, and I sent the reports in for once they fix it and send out the next one, then they'll start working again properly. Because this happened about 1.5 years ago too, where it just kept on going friggin' nuts, and then they pushed out another software update about 3 weeks later, and it started fixing it again because everybody was screaming about it.
Lime is exactly what we've actually talked to the co-op here in town, and they say get your soil tested and we'll tell you how much lime to add.
Yeah.
So, because we have to put down, we still need to seed our property. So
now your soil, I'm willing to bet your soil in certain areas is acidic.
Yeah, probably.
Specifically because
the blackberries love it.
Because wherever the any pine trees are at, pine trees will take alkali soil and make it acidic.
Yeah, that's true.
And right here, around here, with all the volcanic, the salt and all the volcanic stuff here, it's very alkali.
Yeah. That's why I think I'm Tennessee. I'm going to do like a lasagna garden or something with lots of layers of compost. You know, just keep on
Oh,
layering it up.
check around to see if there's a dairy near you. Dairy
There's,
farms usually twice a year, either sell or give away their manure.
mm,
And sometimes they just if they're like the one around here gives it away. You can schedule with them, and they'll come out and they'll just dump manure out on your property. They have the trucks, and they're going to just as they drive around, just spray, throws crap everywhere. And it just
oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to be a mod? He was
uh,
coming in my lives more, so maybe that's why he's a mod.
well, what's interesting is Laura made my other channel, Gray Man Prepping, a mod, but Camp Pat and Family Compound's not a mod.
Oh, see, there we go. I got to do that too. You can only have so many mods, so
Uh, Not really.
really,
Yeah,
that's not true. Somebody told me that.
yeah, because I forget who it is. Trying to remember who it is. Has like 100 mods. Just about everyone comes out on his stuff on his live stream normally, and he just makes everybody a moderator. If they've been,
Mm,
if they've been around for a while, or he's seen them being moderators on
yeah,
other channels, he makes a moderator instantly.
there you go, Guardian Prepper. You are a mod, and so is Tennessee Bushcrafter.
Oh, all right, we're getting Smurfs here. We're becoming the army of Smurfs.
Smurfs,
Yeah, blue,
blue.
blue,
Oh,
blue
blue.
wrenches, Smurfs.
Yep.
We're all handy Smurfs with our wrenches and hammers.
Are you in the chat as Camp Family Pack or
Yeah,
no, the other one?
I'm here as Camp Pat and Family Compound in the chat.
Okay, but you're a mod as Camp Family Compound,
Yeah, so,
right?
no,
Gray Man. Gray
well,
Man, then you need to be a mod.
Gray Man is the mod.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, let
So,
me fix that. There.
uh,
Blue wrenches all around. Well, I have to know you pretty good to give you a blue wrench.
hang on
I
here.
think it,
Yeah, there we go. Smurf Patrol.
it's always good to have extra blue wrenches around.
Yeah, I mean that. It's been a couple months since I had a troll come in. We had one on was it Tuesdays? Last Tuesday, had a troll come in and okay, I moved my mouse in the wrong spot
I
and
thought you
everything.
were going to say, "Oh, we got one."
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's like Steve, of course, they're trainers. I mean, he was right there, bam, like,
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty quick on that stuff.
and Bruce when Bruce is in the side chat, he
Yeah,
is really fast.
yeah, he is. I wonder what's going on with Bruce, man.
I don't know.
We
I've
love you,
seen,
Bruce. We miss you if you're out
yeah,
there.
yeah. We see Faye. Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Purple T Bear around more
yeah,
than Bruce now.
yeah. Maybe he's working again. Like Chris went back to work, and we hardly get to see him now. My Chris.
Yeah,
So
I'm waiting for my Chris to be able to retire.
yeah,
Actually, what I need to do is find that lucky Idaho winning lottery ticket. It's
yeah,
$1,000 a day for the rest of your life. If I find that one, I have her come out. All right, here it is. You come up here, change your residency, and go cash this in.
right.
Because she's 8 years younger than I am,
Oh, okay, I see.
which is interesting because my dad was 8 years younger than my mom. Just the opposite.
Right.
Invasion of the moderators.
I love it. It's good to
Uh,
have a lot of moderators, but as long as you know them and you can trust them, I wouldn't recommend giving a moderation to somebody that you can't trust.
yeah,
And Hendo, I figure if Chris Wyatt can trust you, I can trust you.
yeah. It's
So,
like one of my favorite moderators, which hasn't been, she's been moderating for other people, so she only comes in once in a while, is Kathy at North Star Prepstetter.
mm-hmm.
She has on her computer, she has a Word doc with all sorts of links on it and stuff.
Mm.
And she has one for each channel she moderates for.
Oh my goodness, that's cool.
And so when she goes to moderate, she brings it up and she'll start throwing the links for, like for both my channels in there
Mm-hmm.
and some of the other stuff I normally talk about. She has these links already set up. And as soon as I mention it, boom, there it is.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
the other one that used to do that a lot until their internet company got taken over by a piece of crap was Anna at Mimsy's Garden. She used to do
Oh,
the same thing, and their internet company went,
oh yeah.
and I mean she stopped doing lives because she couldn't do it.
Our internet company here is not very good. I think it's AT&T. It's not that great here at this house.
All right. Storms radios. Okay, can I dig a bunker and live in it in Utah without being bothered by pesky laws? Uh, you have a better chance up here in Idaho than you do in Utah.
Yeah.
Utah has been infiltrated by the we need to run your life people.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, and the thing is, when these people infiltrate, the first thing they do is run for public office,
Mm-hmm.
or get into the zoning commission, planning commission, whatever. They start working for them and start screwing things up big time.
Right.
Yeah, they had someone try that here in Bingham County. Someone came in and he was purporting to be a um, far right Republican. Got in and started pulling crap, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people said, "This guy, you need to fire this guy now."
Yeah.
And when they found out what he was doing, it's like, sorry, that's not the way we run things around here. They undid everything he did
Oh my goodness.
and fired his butt. And yeah,
Wow. That's crazy. No, they're trying to infiltrate here in Tennessee. People are pretty on top of it, though.
yeah.
Um, I hope they stay that way, you know. So,
Unfortunately, we got stuck with the wrong person on the ballot for our governor here.
yeah,
Our governor is a demon rat in Republican clothing,
right.
and he is. The thing is, though, the lieutenant governor is very right wing, and
Mm-hmm.
she was on the ballot on the primary to be governor, and then all these, and she's been on there for like 9 months. She's been,
Wow.
she was when you first went in there for it, and then in the last 4 or 5 weeks beforehand, all these other idiots got on the ballot, and when you get a bunch of idiots on the ballot, it draws away from the good person, and everybody so everyone in there's like, oh, I'm confused. I'm just going to go with the incumbent,
Right. I
which
think
is
I think it's important to look at if they've been in Senate or the House to see what their voting records are.
yeah. Well,
You know.
none of these others were in. They're businessmen and stuff trying to get in there. Think, oh, I got to use this,
Yeah.
and they just totally with the number of votes they pulled away from our lieutenant governor cost her from being the party nominee for governor. And then you got all the others that were like, I'm just going to vote for the incumbent. Yeah.
Yep, Pando. Yep. November is going to be important.
Yeah. I'm still, I'm I'm talking with other people around the state here, and especially some back in on the west side over by Boise, and it's like, hey, if you can find any hint of criminal misactions by Governor Little, we need to act on it before November so we can get him.
Ixnayed on the.
Thing is, so if he gets caught for any sort of criminal thing, proving it that he was in cahoots with the DNC for what some of the crap he was pulling here, if they can find one email on it, the district attorney says he will charge him and push for his not being being found guilty for not being if I get my words right. If he gets found guilty, he will push not for a prison sentence,
Mm-hmm.
but the hardest thing he's going to push for is being permanently banned for life from holding any public office.
Yeah. I don't understand what that means, Tennessee. He's a what? Hi, Howie. How you doing? Good to see you in here.
Marsha Black being it's either a positive or a poser.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused about. I was going to say a poser, but
And he's in the chat. The man, the myth, the legend. It's Howie.
yeah,
At Food Forest Permaculture.
yeah, he's an awesome dude. If you want to know how to grow things or want to pick somebody's brain about growing things, ask the Howie man.
Yeah. Oh, Howie has a food forest not only outside his property, not only on the hillside does he have a food forest, but inside his house he has a food forest. Yeah, you see some of Howie's lives in there, and behind him, here's all these plants everywhere. Yeah. Plants in his house.
Yeah, he's got such a good heart too. He's a good man.
Yes, and he's always helping his neighbors out with their gardening and stuff too. And here he comes,
the Marshmallow Man. If we can get up here.
People that are out rural and stuff and are stuck with HughesNet or any of the other satellite dish ones. A friend of mine, Scott at Hidden Valley Homestead up in the Panhandle of Idaho,
mm-hmm.
got his Starlink system set up. And he's up there in the middle of nowhere. His house is 100% off grid, and he has amazing internet. There, his freezing now and then is practically non-existent.
Yeah,
compared to HughesNet or any of the other ones. And so you got it. There's Starlink has a map where you can see the areas they're pushing. They're pushing the more rural areas opposed to the city areas,
mm-hmm.
because they figured they'll pick up more people in the rural area.
Yeah,
and the more rural it is, the more they were pushing for that area to try to get it covered, so they start getting money back for the satellites they're putting up there. And I'm not sure how long Scott was on the waiting list. He got on the beta test waiting list before they were doing it, and so he got his, and someone else got on the list about halfway through the time that Scott was on there. And week after Scott got his, they got theirs. And so they're really rolling out. So if you're in an area where you have trouble with the internet and all your options is satellite with HughesNet or one of the other ones, check Starlink. You may find yourself being able to do it, because all right. Basically, Starlink makes HughesNet look like dial-up. The old.
Hey, there you are, Marshmallow.
American Online dial-up. Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
So, that's good to see you guys too.
Okay, and I got to do something here. Maybe if I can.
Yeah, I've
do
heard
it.
good things from Star
Hey, Gil,
as well.
you see my picture?
Yeah, I saw it on the last live. You were in the chat. And if people are wondering what he's talking about, his picture.
That's the picture. He has
That's
it
the
up.
picture right there. There it is.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I was at
Yeah.
Marshmallow Man. I was at a secondhand store yesterday, and I saw a Marshmallow Man.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I should get it," but it was pretty expensive because it was an antique, so I didn't get it. Hey, Butt Nugget, or Nuggets, I should say. How are you doing today?
All right. I got no complaints.
Well, that's good. What are you doing for the 4th?
I'm canning chili right now.
Making chili, is that what you said?
Canning it
Oh, okay. Nice.
in the pressure.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. I was going to pick up a bunch of potatoes. I should have picked a bunch up at the farmer's market. If they're still there next time, I might pick up like quite a few pounds and canned potatoes. I like to do that.
Yeah.
See you later, Howie.
Take care, Howie.
I usually would freeze. Right now, I have the freezer space, so I would freeze it. But if I made chili, Chris likes to make huge pots of things, and we usually freeze the rest. But because we don't have the space to can right now, so that's what we do with our leftovers right now. So we don't have a place that's cool to put it in. We just have the hot garage.
Yeah. Well, it's recommended, right? Like I've got mine in a spare bedroom, right? And I got to contain it, like those old laundry sinks there,
Yeah,
where the
yeah,
laundry washing machine drain into it and go to wherever in the pipes. I got one of those sinks with a bucket underneath the hose, and my fridge has got an ice cube maker, so I stay on tape to stay on making ice. And when it gets really, really hot out, I'll put ice in that sink, and I've got a couple of hood range fans that will circulate the air through, and I put a piece of plywood on, cut a couple of holes and whatever, right? So that when it's hot out, it keeps that room a little bit cooler.
I see. Hey, Cosmic.
But for the most part, hey, Cosmic, for the most part, you're okay. You know what I mean? As long as there's no sunlight getting at it.
Yeah.
And the temperature, it doesn't get like 75 degrees, right?
Yeah. Well, see,
You're
my
pushing
problem
it,
is
right? You know what I mean?
it gets about 100 here on a regular basis during the summer. So, yeah. So I have to, keeping it out in the garage won't work.
But you don't you don't want it to be 75 degrees all the time. Usually the cooler, the better.
Yeah. Right.
Because it expands, sweat on the inside, right? So it just what do? You got to keep it in a cooler spot, right?
Yeah.
That's why I recommend they got these big plastic septic tanks, and I recommend them But if you're in the middle, at least for where I am, because my neighbors, if I were to do anything like that, my neighbors could see what I'm doing over the fence or through the fence.
Mm-hmm.
But that would mean I'd get a septic tank and boom, in the ground. And all you got to do is really make like a doorway on the where you're going to, and then at the basement level, make a doorway in the basement and a doorway on the septic tank, and there you go. Have it so it's lined up, and when you go back filling everything, that doorway to the house and the septic tank is like waterproof, right?
Right.
And then there you go. You know, keep that door closed like a nice thick door, maybe with a little bit
We're going to build a storm shelter
inside, like. Yeah.
And we'll be able to put
I would still
things
even
in the storm shelter. I can't use a plastic septic tank though because the clay will push it in.
oh
Yeah, the clay in
yeah,
Tennessee.
even at that
is wet.
is it's hooked up to the basement, because at least you know that if somebody were coming on your property, nobody's getting in it.
Right.
Only you can. They got to get to the house.
We don't
and
have a
if you set it
basement.
up yeah, and if you set it up properly, it can be hidden, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to
And
do
I'm
a
just
storm
thinking,
shelter, but we're not. We don't have a basement just because they don't do basements here in Tennessee, which they do in the older homes. It makes sense to have a basement though here because of the storms, but they don't do it.
Yeah,
like I would be lying if I said I don't have a basement. 2/3 of it's a crawl space, and the rest is just enough for a sub pump and a furnace and my water system and the lead line to the septic tank, right?
Yeah.
You know, so it's not a basement.
Hey, Tennessee, instead of using 6-foot steel culvert, try using 8-foot.
I'll be right back, guys.
That way, if you have an 8-foot diameter and you put like a sheet of 1 1/8 plywood down, subfloor, which is actually cheaper than 3/4 inch plywood. In the bottom, it gives you a flat space to walk on, and it gives you a place underneath of it for air circulation around. Also, in case there are any leaks come in there, it flows underneath and out and not into anything you have set down in there. Plus, you can also then, because usually you put a 4-foot sheet of plywood in an 8-foot space, it usually gives you about 6 feet or so of standing room. So you're not having to hunch over as you walk through it. But for storm shelters and stuff, there's a whole bunch of different things you can use. Those the septic tanks and stuff, the plastic ones and stuff, are meant to have fluid in them to keep them from collapsing. That's the problem of using those things. However,
well, I'm only speaking for up in Canada where I live, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's going to be a little bit different where you live because of the ground here, that, whatever, right? So
yeah.
The thing is, so like for the septic tanks with those, if they're made out of the proper material, you can use those for water storage. Just bury it and have buried water storage.
Yeah. Hey, Nisi, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah, they sell them. Actually, they sell them really cheap, the plastic ones here, because a lot of people are deciding not to use them because quite a few people have. Oh, we lost Marshmallow Man. Because they have collapsed. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. People don't realize that if you're putting in, no matter where you're at, you're putting in a one of the plastic septic tanks. You're supposed to over dig it. You're just supposed to put at least 6 to 8 inches of 3/4 inch aggregate rock underneath it, put it in, and then fill around it with the aggregate rock, where you have at least 2 feet on each side. That allows keeps it from being compressed by the clay expanding when the clay gets during the seasons, dries out, gets saturated with water and stuff. And that's one of the things people don't do for the septic tank.
Yeah.
And then when they do a septic tank without rock around it, when they run the pipe out, that pipe should come out and drop down to the same level as the bottom of the rock that's under the tank. And that goes out as your leach field, out to your leach field. So it has rock around it. So any water that accumulates around the tank drains out into the leach field. Yeah, most people don't know that. I spent how many years when I wasn't in law enforcement, I was in construction, and we did underground construction. Is what we did: sewer lines, septic tanks, water systems, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like dealing with stuff up here in the country, right? Like,
yeah.
That's what you're doing, right? Septic tanks, sewage systems for houses, right? An individual house, water lines, wells.
Thank you,
And
Henry.
it's always the 3/4, or a gravel, which is your 3/4 sand mix on your gravel roads.
Yeah. The one of the things that has become popular in California was the development of a machine made by the company I used to work for, and I helped design it. It's called the California Soil Cement Processor. And basically, they dig all the dirt out, bring one of these little trailers in with a cement trailer next to it, and they just run the dirt through it, add cement powder to it, run it through the pug mill, which is the mixing part of it, and basically you're dumping concrete out. And for most of the time, it's either a 3 to 4 sack mix of concrete, soil cement concrete you're making, and you pour that around a septic tank, it ain't going nowhere. And the soil can expand all it's wanted. It's encapsulated, and nothing's gonna push on it. We did a lot of water pipe out in Modesto that way. We put in the 65-inch water line out there, which also made it great because the soil was real sandy. We had the cement to it, made a slurry, poured it around it, and that and the backfill time and compaction time was, as fast as we could drive the machine alongside of it, we were backfilling and going, and in a couple hours that stuff was set up, and they come in with a test to do the soil test on it. It's like, dang, you got 130% compaction on it.
Wow. That's good.
A friend of mine actually that worked there actually borrowed during the off season, borrowed one of the things, and he took a cargo container and borrowed one of the backhoes and stuff, dug a pit, poured a pad in the bottom of it, had a cargo container delivered, dropped in there, and then just started, pulling up a foot at a time with the soil cement around it, and just kept going around it. And by the time you got back to the other side, it was getting hard, so it wasn't pushing in on the side because you're only going up a foot at a time, and totally encapsulated the cargo container, and there was no collapse. All was acting like a form board for the concrete.
Wow.
So yeah, he has one basically, and once he got up to the top of it, he laid some rebar across the top with it, made a mesh and poured, except for where he had the pipe he put on there for his access. He put 3 feet of concrete on top of it over a day or two, and he actually wound up building a nuclear bomb shelter.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
That much concrete on it basically gave that much protection from the from any radiation type stuff. So But he wasn't planning on building a bomb shelter. He was trying to build a watertight, emergency shelter to have his stuff in. All right. Ooh, it's 1:15.
Yeah, I got to get going too.
Yeah, I need to get out there in the heat and start doing some more tractor work.
Yeah, and it's getting hotter.
And
So-
yeah, and it's getting hotter. Actually, let me look out. Oh crap! I'm looking out here here. Let me see if I can get this to work here. Let me open that up and move my camera, and let's see if you can see the. All right, so that looks like it's about 112.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think we need to take that off of the metal siding, though.
Well, thing is though, it's because it can be anywhere, and it's going to read about 15 degrees hotter because it's inside. So it's
Yeah.
actually probably about 90 degrees out there. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, same as here.
but if I'm out there and the sun's beating down on me, it may be 90 degrees ambient temperature, but it's cooking me at 100 and something
Yeah.
in the sun.
It's 93 here, and I'm sure it's over 100 with the heat index.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm going to go, you guys. Thank you for all coming, and I appreciate it, and it was fun chatting with everybody. God bless you guys, and have a great 4th of July. Enjoy your family.
And stay safe. Don't do anything foolish.
Yeah. Oh, if I can get this.